Hey everyone, so I got this new radio I'm going to put in my truck. It is a 9-inch screen. It's a cheaper brand, Boss. I think they sell it at Walmart and stuff too. I got this off Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was only like $200, $260, something like that. And comes with a backup camera. I mean, it's kind of a cheap backup camera, but I figure it'll help putting the trailer on, and being that this truck is 22 feet long, I mean, it'll help with parking and stuff too, because you can't really see the back too well. So this, like I said, got a 9-inch screen. It has the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto, which is pretty much why I got it. It doesn't have CD player or anything like that. It's got a tuner, obviously, but I like it because I can hook my phone up to it. And then basically I can bring all the music I have with me, but primarily I got it for navigation when we go camping and stuff, that I could just plug my phone into it and get the directions right on the radio instead of having to kind of prop my phone up on the dash. So I'm gonna get this put in and see how it goes. So first we're going to pull this trim piece off right here. I was lucky enough that I had a plug in the back of my trailer brake controller. But I don't generally stick them on the dash, but when I bought the truck, somebody had stuck it on the dash, so now it's on my dash. So we're going to have a screw here, and the rest of it should pop right off, I believe. We're going to have probably a plug right behind the cigarette lighter there, and another plug behind this HVAC control. So we got that off. I just kind of opened up the little ashtray here so I could get in there and pop that off, but it pretty much just pulled it off. So we're going to have some screws here that hold the stereo in. Looks like we got 2 on each side, and then that should come off. This is obviously an aftermarket stereo, not the one that you would have generally on here as a factory, but I'm pretty sure you're probably going to have the same 4 screws that hold it in. Pull it out, unplug the connectors off the back. Alright, so I got this connector wired up. I mean, basically it actually says, I won't be able to see it, but it actually says on the wires like rear negative. So right there, right rear negative. And then the harness that comes with the radio has everything marked too. So you're pretty much gonna attach this to this where it says to put it. So there's some other things. This radio obviously has a big screen on it, the 9-inch screen. So it has Apple CarPlay, and it also has the Android one, whatever that is, Android Auto. So there's a couple of other things you have to hook up. You need to hook up a reverse input for 12-volt in. It says parking brake input. I'm pretty sure that's so you can watch videos with Android Auto. I do not believe that you can watch videos with the Apple CarPlay. I'll have to look into it. I'm pretty positive that you can only do it with Android, I think is what I saw. So I'm not going to bother hooking up the parking brake because I'm not going to watch videos on it. I really just want it for the ability to hook my phone up to it, play music through my phone, and for navigation mainly. So we have your rear camera power. This you can also use front cameras too, so you also have front camera power if you want that. Probably in case you can't park and you don't know how far you pulled up. Don't know what the front camera is for, but it's in there. So I'm just gonna hook up the rear camera. So this radio obviously has the RCAs for it. Also connects with a microphone, so you can hook your microphone up to it. I believe there's a connection too for a what is it? A third party steering wheel control adapter, in case you want that. I don't have the steering wheel controls on mine. So anyway, what we got here is the USB plugs that come out of the radio, and it looks like you could just hook those right up, but I don't really want to have those hanging out, even though I probably could just have those hanging out. So what I got was one of these, basically just an extension cord kind of plug thing. So I got this panel off, And I believe I'm going to put this right there in that hole. So it's going to be pretty much on the other side of that sticking out. So I think that'd be a good place for it. And if I don't like it eventually down the road, I guess we could get like a grommet or something, or a plug, and just put a plug in there. All right, so I got that in there. I ended up drilling it to about 1 inch, and then I just kind of, like I say, opened it up with that carbide burr. And it fits right in there. Put the little locking nut on the back, and it is in there. It also comes with a bracket that you can just kind of screw the bracket onto something, and it sticks out, if that's what you want. So you don't actually have to put it in the panel. You can just kind of screw it to something. So there's plenty of cord on this. I probably could have put it anywhere I wanted to, really, with what comes out of the back of the radio. You definitely got quite a bit of length there. So let's say these plugs here, we'll just plug right into the radio plugs, and then should be good. There is a hole. There's a thing that can come here for, I believe it's like the passenger side airbag that I obviously don't have in here. It's just that knockout panel. And so there was actually a hole behind this in the dash, so it shouldn't be a problem getting the wiring through and then kind of up into where the radio is. So with this radio, what is it, the BCPA9RC. This came with a kit with the rear view camera. Here's a rear view camera that came in the kit. They do give you some of the cable to hook it up. I don't exactly know how long it is, but it's not very stout. And to be honest, I don't understand RCA cables underneath a vehicle in New England, or just in general. It just does not seem like a very, I don't know, very good connection. I mean, maybe they work, but I don't know how they're going to work outside the vehicle, to be honest. But I don't drive this truck in the winter, so I don't really have too much to worry about, even though I don't really like it. Anyway, I got this one. It's 34 feet. It's supposed to be a little bit thicker. Same RCA connection. But that is the part number that I got. I got this separately off Amazon. This was about 12 bucks. I got this Red Wolf connector kit. It was this this connector right here. I cut off, obviously, a piece of it. That's what I got right there. Other than that, I don't really know of a part number on it. But anyway, I also got this to go with it. There's a part number. It's got a 90-degree connection on the end, because I don't know how the straight one is going to work, because there's that bar in the dash right behind the radio. So this will kind of get me over a little bit. So these are the things I got that was extra. And then, like I say, this thing right here, and that's the number that was on it. I don't know if that means anything, but I got all the stuff off Amazon. So the only thing I didn't get that you probably will need if you have the factory radio is this aftermarket radio bezel. That it was on there because I have the aftermarket radio that somebody else put on there, but that is that. So I don't have a part number for that, but keep that in mind. You probably need that. All right, so I ran this up along the frame to a hole that everybody runs everything through in this right there by the clutch pedal. I got it in, and I went up over this metal bracket here that holds the dash up and all that. So you can route it however you feel comfortable with. Ran it in there, kind of got it over the top of that, and then just kind of up through the hole here. I was able to poke it up through here so I could grab it and then kind of fiddle my hand in there and get it over to here. So this is going to plug into your rear view camera. This wire that comes out of it is for the camera power, and I ran a separate one alongside for the reverse light source. So this goes into, I'm going to run it into my trailer connector, because I've never really seen a trailer that actually had reverse lights on it, except for like a semi or something. Even then you don't get much. So this is going to be my reverse light source. I'm going to go into the trailer connector to get that. This is the camera power. All these are labeled over here what they are, and this will plug into the back of the radio. I also ran the microphone for the phone calling, and I got that up here. I'm just gonna kind of stick it to the window or something right there. I don't know where I'm gonna stick it, or I might stick it there, I don't know. But pretty much that just kind of runs down here, and then I shot it across the same way I did this, and then kind of poked it up in there. A little bit fiddling, and you're gonna be on your back on the floor trying to get it up in there. But that's where it's got to go. So here's our jumper harness all finished, and I'm going to plug this into the radio. So put the radio in, plug all this into the radio, and then put the 4 screws in to hold the radio in. Then we're going to put our trim bezel back on. I do have to plug that into the radio as well, so I might have to get that kind of running up in there before I plug it into the radio, because I won't be able to get back in there. And then yeah, then we'll have the radio on. Alright, so I got everything plugged in there. There's plenty of room. It's not like you had to like stuff it in there or anything, because I think these radios are a little bit shorter than the original ones that were in there. I did run this in first. I kind of went around the frame where the dash is all mounted to, that pipe that runs along. So I went around that frame up into the back there to get it plugged in. It took some doing. I had to kind of fold the wire over so it had like a 90, so when I put it in I could kind of tip it back and get my finger on it in here, because you can't get your hand all the way through and it's hard to get it back. So now I'm going to plug these 4 connectors back into this trim piece here, snap it all back on, put the screw in, and that should be done right here with what we have to do. Then we'll plug the radio back in, and I'll finish wiring or running the wire along the frame to the back where the license plate light is. So we got this screen will pop on. Slide it in there, I believe. Snaps in. And this should be adjustable. Just trying to figure out how to adjust it. So, you know how you adjust it? You just kind of grab it and move it. So it slides up, turns and angles however you want it. Well, within reason. Let's see if is that. Am I agreeing to stuff? Seems pretty cool. Looks like you can select the camera. Obviously I'm not going to get a camera. How do you go back? Well, so that works. You might not hear any music coming out of it because of the copyright stuff, but I don't know, seems pretty neat. I'm going to finish wiring up that rear camera. I guess it would have been nice if I realized that all I could do is just hit the camera rather than have to run that reverse light back. I'd just be able to hit the camera and then it would turn it on. Because I mean, I don't know, I guess it's nice to have it when you put it in reverse to have it come on, but I guess it's not a necessity. But so I'll finish doing the camera and see how it goes. So turn the key on, usually comes up pretty fast. Let's see here what that button does. No items. Okay. So go home. So what I did find was you can hit the button and you get the camera without putting it in reverse. It's an alright camera. It's kind of grainy. It's what you would expect from a kind of cheaper product, but you know, it's better than me getting out 35 times to look and see if my trailer is hooked up about right. I'm usually pretty good at it, but you know, a little bit helps. So like I said, I mean, I got it for the navigation mostly, but the backup camera helps. If I were to do it again, I probably would not hook up the reverse sense. Like, you won't have it when you're backing up, but you can hit the camera. Like right now it's not in reverse, so hit the camera and it's showing the camera on the screen. When I put it in reverse, it blocks out for a second and goes black, and then it comes back on for the camera for reverse. So you don't need it if you're backing up for like hooking up a trailer or something like that. If you're backing into a parking spot or something like that and you want it to go on when you put it in reverse, then yeah, you're gonna want to hook the reverse up. But I generally don't need it for that. I just kind of wanted it for hooking up the trailer, which you can just hit the camera and it will turn on, and you don't have to have the reverse hooked up. So it will work without the reverse wire hooked up. So you just run that one wire right back. And like it goes to camera power on the harness, and then camera power on the camera, and then put ground on the camera, and you're done. I don't know if I'll go in reverse right now. So see, it does that when you put it in reverse, and take it out, and it does that and comes back to the camera. So I don't know how you get that off. Probably back to home or something. But anyway, it seems to be all right. I'm gonna try the other stuff, the hands-free, the Apple CarPlay, and the USB, see how it works. I'm recording on my phone, so I'll have to get another phone to try it to show you, and yeah, try that. So got my phone hooked up. Works pretty well. I mean, you can say it's just a regular Apple CarPlay. Hit music and kind of select through the things you got there, all the stuff she got on hers. And the only thing that I would say that I don't like about this is that when you put on, let's see, turn it, make sure it's down. So when you put on when you put on the lights, there's a dimming effect on this for nighttime, and you can set all the different parameters for how much you want it to dim, and some contrast and stuff. But what I find happens is that this isn't dimming. It's like it's flashing, and I don't know if it's the radio, I don't know if it's the wiring, or if it's my light switch or the truck or what it is, but it's not dimming. It's like it's staying bright, and then it's actually like flashing in my face, which I don't really care for. So illumination control. So turn illumination control on. So you see how bright it is? So turn the lights on, and let's say it's not going to do it right at the moment, but see how it's like flickering like that? Like I said, I don't know exactly why it's doing that. I've tried turning like the light dimmer control up. Now that's down. So the lower it is, the more it's kind of flashing. So it makes me think that it actually needs a 12-volt source. But what's coming from the truck isn't, I don't think, a 12-volt source. I think it's a dimmed, I think it's just dimmed. So it's like it's applying the power to it at a different, not 12 volts. I think it's like varying based upon what the dimmer is doing. And like I said, it's causing it to flash like that. I don't know if I hook up just regular 12 volts to it from a light switch, if it would be better. But I know the wiring that goes to the connector that's on the truck is doing that. So I just turned it off, and then I turned the brightness and stuff just down. So it's still bright enough. It doesn't seem to want to, oops, go back down anymore. So what I did was, like I said, I just turned the brightness down so it's not bright anymore. So it just stays the way it is, and I'd say it's not too bright at night, but it's good enough. So anyway, that's a problem I kind of see with this. Other than that, it works pretty well. The sound isn't very bassy. I would say it's got that kind of tinny sound, but that might just be the music that's on my phone, because I noticed like the music on your phone isn't really like a CD or anything. So just something to kind of look at. I mean, it's not a great stereo. It's not a bad stereo, I guess, for the money. It gives you a big display, which is pretty much what I was looking for. I don't listen to my music loud, so ain't really an issue for me. But anyway, thought that'd be kind of interesting for someone to see, and see some of the problems that I have with it and some of the benefits. But I do like the big screen for the GPS, because it's one that's way bigger than my phone, and it's right there. Basically what I was doing was I was putting my phone up on the dash, in a holder. Because I didn't want to stick it to the window or anything because it's too far away. So I just kind of stuck it right on the dash, so it just sat there, but it would start sliding around. And like I say, this is a lot bigger. I can play my music through it and any other things, audiobooks and stuff like that. But so I mean, would I buy it again? Yes, I would buy it again. I did accidentally put this on the wrong side. I wanted the part to the radio to be closer to the radio, but it's over here. Would I hook up the reverse switch or the reverse sensing wire to the reverse lights? I probably wouldn't do it again because personally I don't really need it for that, and it kind of flashes and stuff when you put it in reverse, and I don't really like it. I would just use it so I can select it on the screen because I only really wanted it to hook the trailers up. I didn't really need it for parking so much. But yeah, it's not a bad radio. So anyway, hold that up, somebody. Thanks for watching.